cross to this side. And you said, what side felt good when you crossed it over?
Like this. Like I got more range of motion when I could do this here. I've got less here.
What I do see is that, like again, the right side is gonna be more IR. This is more ER. So what we can do is try to get more range in external rotation on that side, more range in internal rotation on that side, and then also pull back the hip. So with the externally rotated side, you wanna work on getting the hip back. Right, so we're gonna work on hip shifting to the rear side, where the right side is gonna be more hip shifting to the anterior side. So you're gonna be going forward, right? So it's just basic hip shifting that'll allow for the internal rotators, the adductors to turn on for the externally biased side. And then we're gonna work more external rotation. So we're gonna work on more glute med, right? Trying to open up the hip on the internally rotated side, which will help somewhat balance it out a little bit better. I want you about 90 to 60 degrees. We're gonna take, on this side, we're gonna go external rotation, right? On the other side though, you're gonna take the roller and we're gonna pull back. So you're gonna be here, head down. What I wanna see is more expansion on the back side. You're gonna pull this knee back. So to be here, big inhale, keep the heels on the box.
So you're putting pressure in, like down?
I am a little bit, but not a lot. Pull back. So notice my knee, pulling back, right? And then I'm slightly putting pressure into the roller, right? So you'll feel the internal rotators turn on there. You feel a little bit in the glute. What you don't want to do is feel it in the back. Right now what we're doing is we're working on internal rotation on the far side. He has limited internal rotation on the left side. So what we do, we have a side lying position, a 90-90 side lying position, and all he's doing is hip shifting and putting that hip into more internal rotation, shifting it back, so that he can gain more range for just better optimal movement, trying to get him as symmetrical as possible. Obviously we can't get fully symmetrical, but we can get it as close as we need to make sure that he's optimized for his movements inside the ring. Now without the roller, you're just gonna go feet together, right? Same position, heels on the box, right? Bend your knees just a little bit more, so bring your hips to me more. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead and rest your head, and then I want you to just reach back here. Right, so now you're getting expansion, right? So we were in compression, now we're in expansion. Now, with the heels still on, here, bring your hips to me more. There you go, good, and bring your feet up just a little bit. That's it right there. Now, with your feet still planted, I want you to actually drive your knee forward now, and then as far as you can, without compensation, go to the end range, and then you're going to externally rotate, so you're gonna go ahead.
Here, and then
up. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going. Go to the end range, good. You should feel it here.
Yeah.
Go to that. Don't go to where you feel it in your back. Okay. Now, good inhale first. Get here. Big. Good inhale. Shift forward. That.
Oh, keep it here.
Keep it there. There you go. Now open the knee. Open, open, open. Keep opening. Keep going. 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 Good. Good, right there. Take the roller, put it between your legs. Good. Bring your feet out so they're in line with the knees. The knees are in line with the hips, right? Hands down, palms up. Draw the rib cage down and draw your shoulders down, because I don't want you hiked up like this. So basically what we're trying to do now is take care of that anterior pelvic tilt.
Gotcha.
So what we're gonna do is I want you to give me a posterior tilt. So post tilt, boom. Now, drive the heels into the box and lift your butt up slightly. Now lift the hips up just a little bit more, and I want you to draw that rib cage down. I shouldn't see your ribs flare. There you go, good. Yep, straighten it up. Hold that position right there, okay? Now what I want you to do, keep the hips high, right? And then take that arm, without getting your shoulders completely off or your back completely off the ground, just reach to the big toe, right there. Right there. Good. And then give me a big inhale. Big exhale right there. So I want to feel serratus turn on, oblique is turning on. Good. Inhale, exhale. Throwing as you're like kind of stabilizing. When you throw, we have to rotate, we have to tie in the obliques all the way to the adductors, right?
Okay.
And internal rotators. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shift this leg back. Now you can do both just to balance it out, but spend more time on the one that's more externally rotated, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna go ahead, my foot's gonna be flat on the box, right? As flat as you can, dorsiflex as much as possible, right? And I'm gonna drive my heel into the box. So I'm getting hip extension here, right? And a glute squeeze.
Okay.
So now I'm in internal rotation. I'm in hip extension. I'm gonna take the ball. The ball is just there for a tactile cue to maintain hip position. Then from here, instead of going forward with it, I'm gonna drive and shift my hip back. So see, my knee is gonna pull back behind me, and I'm gonna try to get more of a negative shin angle, or at least vertical shin angle, without coming down like that.
Okay.
So I don't wanna hinge too much. I still wanna stay upright, locking in my rib cage. A lot of people will they'll kind of cheat where you'll hinge and then you'll pull back.
Yeah.
Right? It's a natural reaction. What I want to see is you just to stay upright, ribs are drawn down. You want to stack that sternum like right above the pelvis, right? We don't want to be extended and you don't want to be too collapsed.
Gotcha.
You just want to be
you
locked
want to be
in place.
neutral.
Neutral all the way
down.
through as much as you can, right? Then from here, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to pull back and rotate, keeping my eyes on my fingers. And then as I exhale, I'm gonna pull back and rotate as much as I can and reach. And again, I'm still keeping my glute on the backside leg. So a lot going on here. Right? That arm's gonna come back. You're gonna use your lat to pull like a row, and you're gonna use your shoulder to push forward with the serratus. So I'm pushing like I'm rotating the punch.
Like this.
Good, perfect. Now, give me my inhale and exhales and try to get more range as you go to rotate. Start with is just heel up and then drive down. So you're just gonna work the quad, primarily the VMO.
Okay.
So we're just coming here. And this can be for about 10 to 20 reps here. What this is gonna do is this is gonna fire up the quads, right? Which is gonna help with stabilizing the knee. It's gonna help with full knee extension, right? And it's gonna warm up the knee too as well.
Now, what I want to do too is work on the stance. So when you go to throw that kick, you're taking that step, right? You're pushing off, you're throwing that kick here. When you're done, I want you coming back here ready. So I don't want the feet coming too close together, just in case you got to do something else, right? You got to do more offense or defense here, okay? Better. There you go. Good. Again. And how do you feel balance-wise? Good? Okay. Good.
It's different because it's different from...
Exactly. So going from that MMA background to Muay Thai, the stance is going to be a little bit wider. Yep. So a lot of times guys will get a little more narrow, yep. And then when they'll try to throw these kicks and stuff, they'll feel a little off balance. Yep. If you start feeling that feeling of off balance, just take that lead leg and open it up a little bit, kind of get that stance a little bit wider, and that'll help give you more stability. And also too, your hips are going to be more open for the kicks. All right, we're gonna do freestyle. So just gonna get that work in here. I'll adjust some little things here and there, but I want to focus on just getting the work in now. Elbow, elbow. 1, 2. Hook. Elbow, 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 knee. Elbow, elbow. So when you're getting tired here, what you don't want to do is just start committing to all these big strikes like overhands, hooks, uppercuts, because you're going to be open. You're tired. What you want to do is get back to your base, get back to your fighter stance. All right. Use that jab, use that teep. Okay, because if you don't hit the jab teep, you're not in a bad position, and you can get some wind back. So boom, I can keep them away, especially if they're aggressive coming forward. I can teep, boom, keep them away. And then when I'm ready to get a little bit of, I got some energy back, then I can go into my strikes, whatever they are. But when you're tired here, play keep away with your jab, your teep, use your footwork, your hands to move around, get that energy back instead of biting down on that mouthpiece and taking center and just start flurrying. All right, you don't want to do that because you're just going to get caught with the strike because you're tired at that moment. Like a lot of times what I find with new people is when they get on the bag, they don't line their body up right. So see how I'm on the bag right now? See where my lead leg's at? It's right in the middle of the bag. Yeah. And then they start trying to hit here and they're all off balance, right? What you want to do with your bag, okay, and it doesn't matter if it's a long bag or if it's a half bag, is you want to get your hips lined up with the bag. So you want to get your left hip here, right hip here. So now I'm on line with the bag. And make sure you're doing bag work with good stance. Really kind of drilling those fundamentals with your stance when you're on the bag. What you don't want to do is get in the habit of just letting your stance go on the bag and just kind of being here and just going through the motions, because that's what your body's going to remember. You want to be in this position here and then run your offense from this position here. But if you want to pop in here, we'll start here. So once you're in a good stance here, you got your hips lined up with the bag. I'll start like with kicks, right? The biggest thing I see wrong when people with the kick is they don't take a step with their non-kicking leg, their base leg, and they just kind of kick in place. And the problem with that is you'll lose balance and you'll lose power. So what you want to do is what I call an open step. You're going to take this leg and you're just going to open it up and step it out slightly. Now, people ask how much. It all depends. Pretty much how far away your opponent is, and then if you want to cut across more, if you want to stay a little bit longer. But normally, I would just say just a step, like a literal step here. You don't have to step too big out. That's another big thing that people do when they try to step is they step too much, and then they're too far off target.
Sure, yeah.
So I would start there and just take your lead leg, take that open step. There you go, and come out. Good. And what I would do at home is I would take tape. And like kind of line yourself up with the bag here, all right? And then take tape and put a little piece of tape to remind you where to step. Because a lot of times when you start getting tired on the bag, you forget to do these, these fundamental things, and then you just get a lot of reps of doing the things wrong. So I would put a piece of tape at a 45, because that's another thing too. People will step and they won't open their hip up. They'll just take the step. So you want to open the hip up too. You want to take that step. You're on the bag here. You take that open step. Up. Good. And then you come back to your stance. Perfect. Good. Up. Good. Another thing too, I like to, if you're on the bag, we all got cameras, so it's good to videotape yourself so you can see your hands. If you're throwing the kicks and your hands start drifting down to your chest, you want to adjust that. When you throw your kicks here, you want to kick here, come back, and then be in this position here. Because a lot of times what people do is they'll throw their kick here, boom, and they'll come back here, right, with their hands low, and that gives your opponent opportunities to counter. So we want to make sure those hands don't drop. So, like in Thailand, you're going to throw lots of kicks on the bag. But sometimes you're going to do them all the way through, straight through. So that's going to lead to a lot of fatigue and then a lot of bad reps. So what would be better is to take, start small, right? 25, 50 kicks, but break them up into, segments and sets. That way you can get the reps in that you need, but yet you're not letting the fatigue wear down your technique to where you're not getting good technique in.
Perfect. To recap that, start off understanding where you are in front of the bag.
Yes.
Square up the hips, or at least, split the bag in half with the hips.
Absolutely.
When you step out, make sure you externally rotate the front leg to give yourself space to get power through the kick. Come back with the hands up, back in the same position. And then repetition-wise, let's keep the rep ranges minimal in the per set. So you can do 50 total overall workload, but maybe do 5 great ones.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, and then do 10 sets of 5 on each side, making sure that every rep is sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so that's a wrap. Make sure that you follow my man Skyler. Skyler, tell him the Instagram of the gym and your Instagram, and then also the YouTube channel too as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the Instagram is going to be King's Muay Thai Gym. The YouTube channel is going to be King's Muay Thai Gym as well.
Perfect. All right. Hope you guys liked it. You know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this style of video. Let me know by hitting the comments. And also, I'll see you again next time. Peace.
All right.